Central Europe is a place that doesn't rush to impress you. It reveals itself slowly through winding roads, quiet lake shores, church bells echoing across valleys, and towns that feel suspended in time. This region sits at the crossroads of empires, cultures, and centuries, where medieval streets meet alpine landscapes, and everyday life unfolds against backdrops that feel almost unreal. To travel here isn't just to move through space, it's to move through layers of history, nature, and human stories shaped over generations. The journey often begins not in the grand capitals, but in the spaces between them. Small villages tucked into rolling hills, forests that stretch endlessly toward the horizon, and lakes so clear they reflect the sky like polished glass. These are the places that rarely make postcards, yet linger longest in memory. Central Europe rewards those who slow down, who wander without a strict plan, who take the long way simply because it feels right. Driving through the countryside, the landscape changes subtly but constantly. One moment you're passing through vineyards clinging to sunlit slopes. The next you're surrounded by dense pine forests, where the air feels cooler and quieter. Farmhouses dot the land, painted in soft pastels, their red-tiled roofs contrasting against green fields. Time seems to stretch here. Life follows rhythms older than modern schedules. Harvests, seasons, traditions passed down without urgency. Lakes are the heartbeat of this region. Some are vast and famous, others small and hidden, known only to locals. Early in the morning, mist floats above the water, blurring the line between lake and sky. Wooden piers creak gently as fishermen prepare their boats, while cyclists glide along lakeside paths. These waters have seen centuries pass. Monks, merchants, soldiers, travelers, all drawn to the same calm reflections. Villages along these lakes feel like paintings come to life. Cobbled streets wind past flower-filled balconies and small bakeries where the smell of fresh bread drifts into the air. Church towers rise above rooftops, their bells marking the hours as they have for hundreds of years. There's a quiet confidence in these towns. They don't try to reinvent themselves. They simply remain, preserved not by force, but by continuity. As you move deeper into Central Europe, medieval towns appear almost unexpectedly. Stone walls still stand where defenses once mattered, enclosing historic centers that feel untouched by time. Narrow streets twist and turn, opening into small squares where fountains bubble softly. Cafes spill onto sidewalks, and locals sit for hours with coffee or wine, talking, watching, living unhurried lives. These towns tell stories through details. Worn steps on ancient staircases, grooves in stone from centuries of footsteps, faded frescoes that still hold traces of color. Every building carries memory. Once, these streets echoed with horse-drawn carts and the sounds of markets filled with traders from distant lands. Today, they echo with footsteps, laughter, and the gentle hum of daily life. Castles rise above many of these towns, perched on hills or cliffs as symbols of past power. Some are perfectly preserved, their towers and battlements sharp against the sky. Others stand as romantic ruins, ivy creeping over stone walls, windows open to the wind. From above, the view stretches across valleys and rivers that once served as lifelines for trade and defense. Standing there, it's easy to imagine sentinels scanning the horizon, watching for threats that never came or already passed. Rivers carve their way through Central Europe like natural storytellers. They connect cities, cultures, and histories, flowing steadily regardless of borders. Along their banks, towns grew, flourished, and sometimes fell. Today, these rivers are peaceful companions to travelers, lined with cycling paths, parks, and quiet promenades. Boats glide slowly across the water, carrying visitors past centuries-old facades and under stone bridges that have stood through wars and revolutions. In the heart of the region, old towns blend seamlessly with nature. Forests press close to city edges, and mountains rise just beyond rooftops. You can walk from a historic square into a hiking trail within minutes. This balance is part of Central Europe's quiet magic. Urban life and wilderness don't compete here. They coexist. The mountains themselves are gentle but commanding. Not towering giants, but rolling ranges that invite exploration. Trails wind through alpine meadows where wildflowers bloom in summer and snow blankets everything in winter. Wooden chalets appear along the paths, offering warmth, food, and rest. Inside, the atmosphere is simple and welcoming. Wooden tables, hearty meals, conversations shared between strangers who quickly feel familiar. Seasons shape the experience profoundly. In spring, rivers swell with melting snow, fields turn vivid green, and towns awaken from winter stillness. Summer brings long days, open-air festivals, and evenings spent by the water as the sun sets slowly behind hills. Autumn paints forests in deep golds and reds, vineyards buzz with harvest energy, and the air grows crisp. Winter transforms everything into something quieter, softer. Snow-covered roofs, frozen lakes, markets glowing with warm lights. Food in Central Europe reflects the land and its history. Meals are comforting, grounded, and deeply rooted in tradition. Bread is more than a side, it's a centerpiece. Cheeses vary from village to village, each with its own character. Soups simmer for hours, stews are rich and filling, and desserts are crafted with care rather than excess. Eating here feels like participating in something cultural, not just satisfying hunger. Markets are windows into local life. Fresh produce, handmade goods, flowers, and regional specialties fill stalls arranged neatly in town squares. Vendors greet customers by name, conversations flow easily, and everything feels personal. These markets aren't attractions, they're daily rituals, unchanged by tourism. What makes Central Europe truly special isn't just what you see, it's how it makes you feel. There's a sense of grounding here, of being connected to something stable and enduring. Even as the modern world moves faster, these places hold on to their identity without resistance or nostalgia. They evolve quietly, carefully, respecting what came before. Travelers often arrive expecting grand landmarks, but leave remembering small moments instead. A quiet lake at sunrise, a conversation with a local over coffee, the sound of church bells drifting through evening air. These experiences don't demand attention, they simply exist, waiting to be noticed. Hidden gems reveal themselves when you stray from main routes. A tiny town with a single street and a centuries-old chapel. A forest path leading to a waterfall few people know about. A lakeside bench where time seems to pause completely. These moments feel personal, as if the region is sharing something just with you. Even larger towns retain an intimacy that's rare elsewhere. Historic centers remain walkable, human in scale. You don't feel overwhelmed. Instead, you feel welcomed, invited to linger. Public spaces are designed for gathering, not rushing. Squares fill with life in the evenings, music drifting from open windows, children playing freely. Art and culture are woven into everyday life. Museums sit inside former palaces, galleries occupy centuries-old buildings, and street performers add music to historic streets. Tradition isn't locked away, it's lived. Festivals celebrate everything from wine harvests to medieval history, blending old customs with modern joy. Churches and cathedrals stand as quiet witnesses to time. Whether grand or simple, they offer moments of stillness. Inside, light filters through stained glass, illuminating carvings shaped by hands long gone. Even for those not seeking faith, these spaces offer reflection, reminding visitors how deeply intertwined belief, art, and community once were and still are. One of Central Europe's most striking qualities is how naturally it invites repeat visits. No single trip can capture it all. Each return reveals something new, a town missed before, a trail unexplored, a season experienced differently. The region doesn't exhaust itself, it unfolds. As the journey continues, borders blur, cultures shift subtly, languages change, architecture adapts, but the underlying spirit remains familiar. Hospitality feels genuine. People take pride in their homes, their towns, their traditions. There's a shared understanding that what they have is worth preserving. Even after days or weeks on the road, Central Europe never feels fully explored. Just when you think you understand its rhythm, it reveals another layer, another quiet town, another overlooked landscape, another story etched into stone and memory. The region has a way of pulling you deeper, encouraging curiosity rather than completion. There's no checklist here, no sense of having seen it all. Instead, there's an invitation to keep wandering. Railways thread through valleys and forests, connecting cities with effortless grace. Train journeys become experiences of their own. Windows framing rolling hills, rivers bending alongside the tracks, villages appearing and disappearing like scenes from a moving painting. Inside the carriages, conversations unfold in multiple languages, yet the mood remains calm, unhurried. Travel here feels civilized, almost poetic, a reminder that the journey itself can be just as meaningful as the destination. Smaller towns often leave the strongest impressions, places where nothing major seems to happen, yet everything feels deeply lived in. There's pride, but also humility, a sense that life is something to be maintained rather than conquered. These exchanges, brief as they may be, add emotional texture to the journey. Food becomes another quiet storyteller. Meals are rarely rushed, recipes are passed down, not reinvented for trends. Simple ingredients are treated with respect, and flavors reflect the seasons. Eating here feels less like indulgence and more like participation, another way of engaging with culture, time, and place. Eventually, the journey continues elsewhere, but something remains. The pace you experienced becomes a reference point. The stillness becomes something you seek. Central Europe doesn't demand nostalgia, it quietly earns it. And long after you've left, its rhythm echoes in how you walk, how you observe, and how you choose to move through the world. Traveling through Central Europe feels less like consuming destinations and more like participating in a living landscape. You become part of the rhythm, walking streets worn smooth by centuries, sharing meals shaped by tradition, moving at a pace that feels natural rather than forced. By the end of the journey, it's clear why this region captivates so deeply. It's not defined by extremes or spectacle. Its beauty lies in balance, in harmony between past and present, nature and culture, movement and stillness. Central Europe doesn't shout for attention. It waits patiently, confident that those who truly look will understand. And long after you leave, it stays with you, in memories of quiet lakes and timeless towns, in the feeling of having touched something authentic, enduring, and profoundly human.